and also to give seminars. Prabhupada mentions determination and effort as key in developing the practice of japa. And I was looking at the word determination the other day, and it has the word terminus in it. And D is just an emphasizer. It means that you're enacting something. So in essence, the word determination means that you're prepared to finish something, or that you do finish it. Otherwise, how are you going to know if you're determined or not? And this point comes up a lot. In one place in the practice of bhakti, Srinivasa Acharya says, Sankhya Purvaka Namagana Natibi Kalavasani Krito, that the Goswamis counted everything, whatever they did, they marked it off. And we find that this is the norm in practicing bhakti, is that you count everything. How many units did you do? And especially in japa. So it's a simple concept, but it's very helpful for the mind, because over time the mind gets distracted, right? To various other points. And even in japa, I could then, one morning I could say, well, I should do this first. And then you might find yourself finishing later. And then you might find yourself finishing the next day. And then you might find yourself not finishing. And so the practical sense of determination is that you finish. There's a terminus. There's a point at which you finish. And you're supposed to finish within a certain amount of time. And if you keep that time when you finish steady, then that's called determination. It's a simple concept, but it's really profound. And just one more thing I'll say about it is that Gaur-Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj once commented that it's the main principle for chanting japa is finish. And he said finish no matter what else is happening, even if there's a risk of your life at that time. You should still finish. You should take it that seriously, and that's what real determination means. So it's simple enough to present to the mind that it doesn't come back with a lot of other arguments that just say, here's the time frame, here's the number, we have to finish on time. And if we do that, then as Prabhupada mentions, through determination and effort, we'll be really successful. And thanks everybody for coming in, even though everyone had a long day yesterday and stayed out late, probably. Didn't get home till late, but you still came in. Deeply appreciate it. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhakti. Hare Krishna. May we continue the conversation just briefly about determination. And when we fall ill, then it's helpful you approach somebody who's studied physiology, is a physician and knows how to cure certain diseases, and then gives you a prescription, which means, script means to write something down, and then says, here's the medication and here's how many you should take. Have you ever had that? Yes. And then it actually says right on the bottle itself, this is how many you're supposed to take. And then the doctor may also say, take them all, even if you're starting to feel better. After 4 days, you may feel better, but you still have to take it for 8 days. Have you ever had that? Yes. As a prescription. And the tendency to self-medicate is one of the ways that we can become misled or confused, because, I read it on the internet. It's something that often now. People do. I looked it up. This is what I think I have. I know people who do that a lot. Just take antibiotics on their own for anything. So we have the benefit of supporting our determination that we have a prescription. And yes, there's a lot of branches of the Vedas, and you can go through them all and then self-medicate and say, I'll try this or that. But Mahājano yena gataḥ panthāḥ, the ultimate conclusion of the Bhāgavat system is, yes, there are many ways and paths, but you should follow the acharyas, what the great souls have prescribed already. And then if you get a very local prescription, and which we have, that's why we have our founder acharya sitting here with us all the time, and then the prescription is already written, 16 rounds. So we can be very clear, I have a prescription, I have to follow it, rather than the mind speculating, maybe I'll do something else. And I've seen people do that. Some person said, well, maybe I won't chant 16 rounds, maybe I'll do my own kind of meditation, because it feels better to me. Okay, good luck. But then you'll think of something else later, because it's the way in which the mind pulls us into a hole. We dig a hole, and there's an old admonition that if you find yourself in a hole, stop digging and start chanting, because we can even go in such a hole that I doubt my own existence, doubt the existence of God. This is the way the modes of nature work upon the mind, and the way out of it is to follow the prescription until you feel health. So I have just a brief question so we have some interaction, which is, how do you feel when you legitimately finish your rounds? You know you actually concentrated on your rounds and you finish all of them. How do you feel at that point? Bad? Good? More than one word answers too.
We chant here in the morning, and when I finish my 16 rounds, I go like, yay. So yeah, it feels really good to finish it, and especially in the morning. Yeah.
Why does it feel good?
It feels that first of all, I finish my rounds, 16 rounds in one shot is because Srila Prabhupada says that if you want to increase your book distribution or desire for book distribution, then finish it in one shot. And then when I do that, previously it was difficult, but now because it was difficult previously, now when I do it, when I'm able to do it, then it feels good.
That's a good point. Nothing succeeds like success. When you actually notice that you're getting more spiritual strength, it's empowering, isn't it, to do more, because you see the medicine's working. Okay, a couple more. Yes.
You absolutely feel a sense of accomplishment, but there are times when you actually get to the zone of really focusing on the mantra maybe after 10 rounds. So when you reach 16, you really want to chant more.
Yeah, Shivaram Maharaj once said that a taste means that you don't want to stop chanting. Even when you finish your prescribed number of rounds, you still want to chant more. That's a good sign of health also. 2 more. How do you feel when you finish your prescribed number of rounds?
I think I heard His Holiness Rompad Swami also say something similar to this. He said if you can achieve chanting 16 rounds in the morning, then you can achieve anything else you want in the day. And the days I do 16 rounds in the morning, I definitely feel, okay, I can just be productive now, I can get my things done. Because like you said, nothing succeeds like success.
Thank you. It's a sign that you're developing determination.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I feel very happy when I did my 16 rounds because I feel that I started the day with the best thing that I can do for myself, and also I stuck to the promise that I made. So it's like I made the best start of the day. It's more accomplishment that I feel, and then it also reflects throughout my day. That once my rounds are done, it shows my happiness and then my energy. Everything, it reflects all through the day.
Nicely put. Thank you. And Malini for the close.
Prabhuji, it feels like distribute the overflow. When you actually finish your 16 rounds, you feel so happy that you want to share it with others. That's how I feel when I chant my 16 rounds properly. Then I just wanted to go and tell somebody else to please do the same. So,
thank you. Overflow. So another concept of determination or terminus or finishing is to think about finishing one round. Because 16 rounds is made up of individual rounds, and those are made up of individual beads. So we can bring that concept into the present by thinking, okay, did I finish this particular bead? Because the fingers sometimes want to say like, yeah, well, what about the next bead? It's like, yeah, but did you finish this one? And what about the next round? Well, did you finish this one? And if we come into this idea of terminus or being determined that finish what you've got right now and keep doing that over and over again, it brings us into a more complete sense of practice that I'm determined because I'm finishing what I started. So we can try that also, is think about one bead at a time. Did I finish that one before I jump to the next one? And did I complete one round successfully? You can celebrate that. And the same feeling I get when I complete 16 altogether, which I may or may not be able to do in the beginning, but when I do it, I feel happy. Start with, could I finish one round successfully? Or did I finish one bead successfully? Let's try it again. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura. Hare Krishna. Just a few last points and we'll take a couple last reflections. And that is that speaking about terminus and determination means to finish. A devotee, and the word comes from voto or vow. That's what a devotee is someone who keeps a vow or a vrat and finishes it. That's what it means to keep it. Is that interesting? That's what a devotee is. And an acharya is one who prescribes the vow based on previous acharyas and the shastras. That's why we go to a doctor, we accept an authority to deal with the particular ailment rather than self-medicating. We take a stand there and then we finish the prescription. So in that context, that's what a devotee is somebody who's sticking to that system. Now, just any reflections that anything from the discussion today or the practice that you found helpful? An idea? Yes.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Just to answer the earlier question of how I feel when I finish rounds, I was thinking it depends on the quality of the rounds. If I'm just barely doing it and not so focused, I feel just relief and feel like I've just survived another day. But if I'm really focused and they're really good quality rounds, then I feel some special mercy, I feel some special blessing. And I've noticed that can come in a lot of different channels, whether it's some pleasure, transcendental pleasure, whether it's some opportunity that comes unexpected or some fulfillment of a desire. I just feel like some blessing from Krishna. And then I was thinking about this focus, and you were mentioning just each mantra, focus on each mantra. And I was thinking, like a camera, you can kind of turn the focus lens in or out, and like it goes out of focus if you go too far, or it comes out of focus if you go too close. Like my mind, if it's in the future while I'm chanting that mantra, it's like that picture is not going to develop well, it was out of focus. And if I'm thinking of the past, it's the same thing, it's out of focus. But if I'm really in the moment when I'm chanting the mantra, then I have a picture that's worth keeping. So over and over again, trying to come to the end of the rounds, having a lot of good pictures taken rather than all out of focus pictures that are just worthless in the end.
Nice, really helpful, good stuff. Take a couple more, we have a couple minutes only.
Yeah, on the same lines, how I feel when I, finish my rounds. So happiness and we feel charged, we feel happy. But I also wanted to add a contentment. Like I'm very satisfied that I chose to do this and I could do this, and I also feel fortunate that I'm in the right parampara. Such exalted guru vargas are there. So yeah, I just wanted to add those two words: satisfaction and fortune. I feel fortunate.
Yeah, it's such an important point. When we're able to complete our vow, whatever it may be, and overcome the whimsy of the mind that just wants to be random. No, let's just be random. Then we have a sense of identity, and I like to call spiritual self-esteem, that I'm good for it, I can actually follow the vow. There's a way that we hold ourselves in front of ourselves differently when we're actually able to finish what we set out to do. And especially when it's a vow that's prescribed by the Guru Parampara coming through the acharya. Nice. Anything last? Yes.
Guru Maharaj, I was thinking that if you follow the prescribed, authorized prescription, then your disease will be cured.
Right. And if you stop taking it halfway through,
then
it can come back
worse.
even stronger, actually. Like with antibiotics, it's like, better finish it. Otherwise, it mutates and it comes back. It's like, yeah, I understand what you're trying to do here. Let me adapt to that, and I'll come back with something you can't cure. Well, we came, and we sat, and we chanted, and last thought for me was just comparing the difference between sitting on the street yesterday. I mean, who sits on the street for like 5 hours? Besides homeless people, well, we do. And we just chant. And I think it's a little more productive than the lady who kept sitting across from us and going, spare change, spare change. Different vibration altogether. We were giving something out. And then sitting here, chanting ourselves. And it's more, there we get the feedback from the environment. We can watch people and see how they're reacting to the mantra. And here we have to, or it's helpful to watch ourselves and see how we're tuning into the mantra, or focusing on it, and what the results are. It's a more self-examination. Both things are helpful in continuing the vow of chanting Hare Krishna. Shri Harinam Prabhu ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai, all glories to the stalwart devotees who've joined this morning online and in person ki jai. Vanchakalpadurishta, Krimasnave, Patitanam Bhavanbhyo Vaishnavi.